Hey, has anyone seen Airlifter? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Casper Chronicles. It's your boy Casper. Today we're here with Jesus from Team Jesus with another regional deck profile. What did you place and what did you play?
I ended up playing Fiendsmith Rescuers, and I got first place at the SD Regional.
Oh, shit. Hey, yo.
Oh, yeah, and I got an air fryer.
Hey, yo.
Shout out to Core TCG. Appreciate it, you know.
Heck yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile.
For sure. All right, start.
We'll do shout outs at the end.
All right, bet. All right, so start up with the lineup. It's just 2 Hydrant, 3 Airlifter.
How does it feel to have 3 Airlifter back with original band?
Honestly, it feels like I'm playing like Dune format all over again, but I definitely did miss the Diabellstar.
Yeah.
But opening this is still pretty strong. It plays into pretty much every hand trap, but it's a card that just has to be interacted with every time. So people just get punished when they do because of the way I build this deck. So.
Okay.
And then I just played probably the best card in the deck is probably just this one, Impulse, with Fire Engine. I don't play the Fire Attacker. I was testing the Fire Attacker and the Engine both together in the same list. But this one just kept coming up more because every deck be adding, especially the Rizal deck going into Exton Knight and going into Requiem. You can always chain Impulse, get a +1 right there.
Right.
It's just overall just good card. Getting to play turn 0, getting to your Airlifter is actually just the only way to like actually try to win this game. And then for the other support, it's the Preventer. This card's still pretty solid at 2. And then I only played 1 Turbo still.
Why only 1? Because I know like Rescue Ace decks before play 2 Turbo. Why only 1?
It's just that it's kind of bricky by itself, and it doesn't do anything after like if you get stopped. There's too many hand traps going around that it doesn't even matter if you hard draw it. People are still waiting for the Imperm Veiler on it. So
Okay.
I just don't want to draw it. I want to search it. So and that's good for the monsters.
Sweet.
And then for more of the Rescue Ace support cards, I played obviously the HQ, the 2 quick plays here.
That field spells wild.
And then just the 3 emergency. These are all still pretty good. 3 emergency is kind of insane right now because there's a lot of Rizal going on, and then they always try to pop your stuff, and then a lot of Veiler Imperms you can dodge with this card. It's just card opening this card just feels really good. And then obviously the 2 traps. These traps are kind of underrated right now because there's a lot of Chaos Angels running around, and some decks can't really out those cards, but this deck has no problems outing those cards just with Contain, Extinguish. These cards are just really hard to play around sometimes. Probably the only deck that can play around them is maybe like Rizal, just because they have Ice and they have Node.
Yeah.
But decks like Malice can't really beat these cards unless they have the trap card. Just a really good traps overall.
Alright.
That's it for the Rescues cards. And then the only way like this deck can kind of play right now is just by playing like Fiendsmith Engine. So played this, Lacrima, Lurie, Track, and then I decided to play the trap card.
Okay. How many times did you draw the trap this tournament?
I think I drew it like 3 times.
Oh no.
But it'd be like that. So, but these cards are just too powerful going second and going first that they just create so much advantage that your opponent has to interact either using Ash Blossom, and you want your opponent to use Ash Blossom just because you can resolve emergency.
Okay.
They're really good grind game. Making Caesar is really good. Desiree is just a good card to negate like Stusser, Lightning Storms. So, pretty good deck. So
cool.
Then I guess I just played 3 Ash too. I guess I didn't play anything else other than Imperm, obviously.
That's crazy.
The only reason I played this card is for all the chummies running around, and it's the only hand trap that actually feels good to draw going second because you can always use it and then recycle it with Sunlight Wolf. It's the only reason it's there, just to stop every chummy, and honestly it's just there for that. It's a good hand trap.
Alright.
For support, I played Rhoda, 1-for-1, and Callby.
Shiny, chill.
Obviously we have to play these still. This is basically Diabellstar, but really bad. this just because this deck's kind of like a branded deck. It needs to resolve emergency to win. Yeah, this card's just really good right now. Beating Engraver, beating a bunch of graveyard stuff.
Every time I play you, you always draw the one I've called by is insane.
Yep, the Wheel of Fire, you know.
The Wheel of Fire. This man's soul burner, high key.
And then I just played a bunch of, honestly, just a bunch of going second cards. I played Talent.
How is 3 talent?
Honestly, in testing, this card was probably the best card to play into a Rizal board, just because I couldn't beat it with my engine alone, unless I had a Talent, and then just like never cared of getting popped. But taking away the body, forcing the interaction, feels really good in this deck. It's mostly there just to beat Veilers in hands when you do get hand trapped, so you can resolve your Turbulence. You have to kind of play it smart with this card. Always try to look at your hand. You kind of never draw with this card, but
yeah,
it's always look at hand or a steal.
Okay.
Because your opponent might have like a nib, and you're playing into nib with this deck the entire time. So,
hey yo,
3 of this, and then we played Droplet, Clips, and Imperm. So I played pretty much. Kind of feels like a going second deck, but
wowzers!
This deck can always go first and get to play going second cards, just because of the way it plays. Right, it gets to resolve Turbulence set 4. You're pretty much always going first with these cards. So.
Right.
There's really no point of playing a bunch of hand trap wars with your opponent, because then you're just hand looping yourself. This deck just feels better when it breaks a board, gets to play second, extra card. It gets rewarded by your opponent interacting with you with cards like Impulse. You get to plus off it if your opponent plays. Eclipse was really good at the regional. I played a lot of Rizal. I think I played like 5 Rizal opponents.
How many times did Eclipse resolve and not get ashed?
I think it resolved twice, and it got ashed once.
Wow.
But these cards were really good just going first and going second. So they were the best ones to play. So and I ended up playing 45. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you play 45 in this deck. You don't want to see half these cards like the trap cards.
Like the one-ofs.
And then for my extra deck.
All right.
Nib token. I didn't play Nib, but
Let's
I just have it, you know.
Nib token.
So the Fiends with package, obviously, this and Caesar. I played Caesar. I was playing Lars for the longest time.
How come you didn't play Larson over Caesar?
Just because like the Malice matchup is kind of scary, and then this is the only card that actually can solo that deck if they don't open an Imperm or anything like that, right? Like non-engine. And obviously Necro Quip to make the Caesar, and then Desiree. This card's pretty good. I kind of didn't really make it a lot. I kind of made it just to link it away, just because the way I was playing this deck, I was kind of using him as a link climber. I should have played the link 3.
The Agumde?
Yeah, but I just had no space.
Yeah,
these are pretty good.
Would you play 2 Desiree? Like if you had room?
No, I probably wouldn't. I would probably try to play a Gumday. So.
Okay.
And then the rest of the links is just Anima. Anima's only there just because Hydrant is a Fiends with combo by itself.
Yeah.
And
bring back Linkaribo.
A lot of people just play into this.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just free, right? So.
That's true. Nobody respects Anima no more.
And then I have Sunlight Wolf. The thing about Sunlight Wolf is actually just really good in this deck because you notice I don't play any hand traps, but the only hand trap I play is Ash.
Right.
So it's the only card you want to hand loop yourself with just ashing, add it back, or get Elector back. So you your end board's always kind of weird. You're always on Sunlight Wolf with either like a Caesar or Desiree. And that's kind of honestly just good enough because getting to hand loop yourself, getting Ash Blossom back feels really good. So, and then obviously SP. And then Flamer Phoenix.
Where's the QC, bro?
No, I don't have one. And then lineup.
Yo, what? Yo. Lineup.
So
oh no.
I didn't play the Fire Charmer, Dark Charmer, or any of those things. The only one that kept coming up was this, and then the only reason I played this because I didn't want to play Chaos Angel because Chaos Angel wasn't helping me keep going, right? This at least, the Fiends Engine provided myself like a bridge to make Promethean Princess, or steal Detonator, steal a Requiem, anything like that. Stealing Detonator is probably just game.
That's insane.
But most of the time you kind of just use this to bridge into the Reborn just to try to keep going.
Right.
And obviously I played the OTK. Last minute I was not playing this. I was playing something else. I don't know what, but I put it back in there just because I had a feeling that I would have to use this card just to try to end quicker, get end games quicker, right? But yeah, I don't regret playing these. These cards are just really good. Honestly, this card is probably the best card in my extra deck, just because it kind of helped me go into this, or probably take a detonator out of nowhere after breaking the boards, and then obviously Typhon. Typhon is just the only card right now that helps you kind of play the game, even though you're kind of losing already, versus like Rizio, but it just gives you an opportunity to try to survive one more turn, and this deck just thrives on that. If you can survive one more turn, you might actually win the game in the grind. So that's for the extra deck.
Cool.
For the side deck, I played a 3 Droll. Droll is there for the Rizio Fiends Fit list. It's mostly just because of that. I didn't want them to play 2 engines. I wanted them to pick one. If you resolve Droll on Bonfire, then they either pick to play Detonator Pass or they make the Fiends Fit line. I just couldn't deal with 2 engines at the same time, so this is the only card that actually stops them from getting to do whatever they want, right? Also, it's just there because there's a lot of Molchummies going around in Fuaros, and I wasn't playing cross out, so this helps them just like stop drawing, right? Because I'm only gonna give them like 2 draws, but it's just a good card to put in going first, because setting 4 and having draw in hand is kind of hard to beat. So.
Yeah.
And then for the other more stuff for the Fiends or the Rizal deck, it's just 2 Druids for him. I kind of just decided these in because Druid's Form is probably the only card that outs Detonator by itself, like threatening it if they don't have the field spell. So it's also just a good card. And then obviously just Magnamut. I kind of don't really side this card, but it's mostly for the other matchup. I side Magnamut for mostly the Malice matchup because I side into 3 Phantasme and 3 Bell. So the theory behind not playing Lancia is that I didn't want to top deck Lancia and still lose. And then at least Phantasme, you can draw it for turn and it can still be live. They open the trap card in the graveyard to Reborn and potentially draw 3 cards from it. It's kind of weird to side a Magnamut versus Malice, but when they go Firewall, they dump the Cyber's Daze Worm. You can go end phase, banish it, end phase search this. So now when they go GW6 or whatever it's called to Reborn, you can summon this and then just draw 3 cards, and you already have 2 bodies on board playing with your engine, right?
That's crazy.
It's the only reason I played those, and I played Bell because Bell was the only card that felt good to just top deck as a 6 card versus Malice. The only good interaction to do is on the white binder and then not the trap, because if they have a Bestial and you do it on the trap, they still get to summon and you still lose. But these cards felt the best into that matchup that I could think of that wasn't Lancia, because Lancia was also a card that people played cross up for just, you know, because generic card. But I feel like these cards were really good though. And then the rest of my side deck was just a macro hate. It's a regional, so you kind of just have to be prepared for anything. They only came in one time in the finals versus Labyrinth, but it wasn't even that good. Honestly, the Bestials were probably just better.
Yeah.
But I don't regret not playing these, or playing these at all, because like when in doubt, like if you do end up playing like a back row deck, it's pretty solid. So, and then yeah, that's kind of it. So I played 45 cards. Deck is not dead. You can play whatever you want, honestly. I just came there to have fun. I wasn't really doing well for the whole week playing Rescue, so I was trying to make it good. But I kind of just had to lock in and just believe in it, you know, like it's a good deck. It's good going second. It's just a matter of just playing well every time you have a hand, right? So but yeah, thank you.
I noticed you didn't play any chummies. Do you need them? Would that be a benefit to the deck, or is it just not necessary for rescues?
Honestly, I think the chummies are good. I just don't own any, and they're kind of expensive. So
yeah, that's true.
But this deck's kind of budget, so other than the Fiends cards, but
yeah.
If I could play them, I would take these out, these Lightning Storms and Dusters.
All right.
Just because that card is actually just really good, but you don't need those cards to win, obviously. You just play well, right?
Look at this man. You went with no chummies.
It'd be like that, you know? But,
Yeah. All right.
and that's pretty much it for the profile.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, give me a deck profile, sharing the GUUUU. Any shout outs before we get out of here?
Shout out to my sponsor, D-Time Games.
Hey.
And shout out to Casper Chronicles. Shout out to Walter Jewell. Shout out to Juan, my testing partner. And shout out to SYG, the YGO girls, and Team Nightmare, or whatever they're called. Team Midnight. And then, yeah, shout out for the air fryer, obviously.
Hey.
Play whatever you want. You can still win, honestly. Just have fun with it. And thank you for watching.
Cool, bro. I appreciate you. All right. As always, until next time, it's your move.